Welcome to our Growing Minds podcast. This will be a session on puberty, adolescence, and neurodiversity. So this podcast aims to support parents in navigating the incredible, confusing, and transformative journey of the teenage years. I'm your host, Veronica Njane, and our speaker today is Pauline Kamuti, a child psychologist with over 20 years' experience in counseling and psychotherapy. So with her, we will explore the realities of puberty and adolescence through both neurotypical and neurodivergent perspectives. So we'll cover a wide range of topics, looking from period hygiene to emotional changes and communication challenges to identity. What about friendships and growing independence? And we hope to break it down with compassion and clarity. You'll hear expert insights and practical strategies on how to navigate this season. So whether you're parenting a neurodivergent teen, a typical teen, or both, this space is designed to help you understand, connect, and grow alongside them. So let's dive in and support our teens as they become the amazing adults they are meant to be. So Pauline, welcome. We're happy to have you here. Mm-hmm. So just to help us understand or to ensure that we're on the same playing ground, right? Puberty and adolescence, help us understand, right? Body changes, the social emotional changes. Take us through that. What's happening during this time?
Okay, so puberty is basically the process that makes those changes, that makes a person move from a child into an adult. Mm-hmm, okay, mm-hmm. Then you have the other name, which is used a lot, adolescence, which adolescents don't like. They like being called teenagers.
Yes.
That comes after once puberty has kicked in, then you get into adolescence. And that's the period when they go through this process of puberty. Okay, that's adolescence. That's puberty, and that's adolescence.
Okay. Yeah. And if you could comment on the social emotional changes, even a bit on the body changes.
A lot of changes happen, and they happen in stages. So the prepubertal stage, basically the changes are on the inside.
Yes.
So you have the pituitary gland, all these, the ovaries, there are a lot of changes happening, but it's not visible. So physically, you don't see anything. For girls, that would be from the above the age of 8, and can happen between the age of 8 and 13.
Yes.
Some people up to 14.
Yes.
And of course, if it happens before, then you're talking about precocious puberty, and that's a whole different thing that needs to be looked at from the medical point of view. So there is a lot of things, because it could be genetics, could be chromosome, or it could be many things. So that's basically the start for the girls. The boys from age 9 also 9 to 14 basically. And if there is no onset of puberty, probably for girls, once if they reach age 14 and there is no onset, it's good to check with your family doctor and check if your child is okay.
From age 14.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. 13 is too early to be anxious, but you can. I think there are other many factors that dictate. This could be diet exposure. If you look back for me, I remember when we were in boarding school, and once you go back to school, there were no periods, and apparently it was something to do with the diet. And again, looking, so some will start your periods at 15 and there wasn't anything wrong with you that time. But now diet has improved for eating better, and therefore they should be able to meet their milestones quite on time. And then the boys, again, you're saying that 9-14, if those changes puberty doesn't kick in, then of course you need to consult a medical practitioner just to check if everything is okay with the child.
Okay. What about, we've introduced something, neurodiversity. Could you comment on that?
Now, neurodiversity is something that affects children. And I think with time, we are getting more and more children in this spectrum. So you have children, mainly, especially the ASD, the autism spectrum disorder, and it can vary. So you have mild up to very severe, where you have, the children don't even have, they are not verbal. And you have those, they're mild, yes, you can notice there's something about this child, but you can't tell what. Yes, they are communicating, they are speaking, they're intelligent. Yeah, and then you have things like ADHD, and sometimes it can also be severe where the child is both, inattentive, hyperactive, and impulsive altogether. So the challenges that come with mainly, especially the ASD, is a sensory processing disorder.
Okay.
Now, sensory processing disorder is very difficult. So it means they either they'll be hypersensitive or they'll be hyposensitive. So when they're hypersensitive, it could be to touch, to sound, to sight, to, they affect all the main senses, 5 senses.
Yes.
So it means that sometimes wearing certain clothes is a problem. Being in a crowd is a problem. Some touching pen and paper, I have some handwriting is bad, but because they have a problem with that thing of the paper and pen, it just because it's amplified, especially for those who are hyper, it's so amplified. For those who are hypo is because sometimes they will not respond to certain things, and you're wondering why they're not responding. But because they are hypo, it doesn't quite go in.
Okay.
So the sensory processing disorder is one of their major problem.
Wow.
They have texture. They'll have even diet becomes a problem because they have issues with texture.
Okay.
They can't eat certain foods. They just are not able to because of that.
The texture.
So that is a problem.
Yeah.
That's one of the major problems. And sometimes you see they'll get it to trigger them, and either they will not be able to sit still, they will not be able to concentrate in class, they will not be able to mix with other children or play.
Okay.
They may sometimes not be able to express what they are feeling.
Yes.
So it can be very, very frustrating. That frustration, you see, sometimes come out in tantrums.
Yes.
It can be anger. They could self-harm or probably harm the ones around them or destroy property. But just trying to deal with that sensory.
Imagine.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to think, now you add puberty and then you add adolescence.
Yes. So you can imagine how difficult it is because puberty with itself comes with heightened kind of sensory, response to emotions especially. So if they feel anger, it's amplified 100 times.
100 times.
If they feel, affection, it's 100 times. Whatever they feel is just
intense.
It is intense. So now if you have a neurodivergent child, that can be very, very difficult. So it's good for just parents to understand that.
Okay.
So that they can be the calm one.
Okay.
Because especially in our setting, when you have parents, usually what they say you do. So it's about commands, it's about shouting. That can only make it worse. And also given that children by nature kind of pick on their parents' emotions, especially the mother, the nurturing figure.
Absolutely.
So you have to be a very calm person so that you can respond in a way that help to calm them down, being able to make them hard. Then the ADHD.
Yeah.
Many times you see it coming because of the impulsiveness. They end up doing a lot of wrong things. So you'll have children with ADHD can end up progressing into having things to do with the being defiant, and they can move on even to conduct disorder.
Yes.
They end up children with ADHD sometimes will end up having issues with authority and the law
during this stage,
when they have,
especially
with in adolescence.
Wow.
But that also depends on how it has been managed in early childhood, because a lot has to start in early childhood.
Okay.
In adolescence, you're basically using the skills that the child has learned to help them shape themselves at that time, because they're also searching for their identity at this particular time.
Yes.
So a lot of things you've done earlier will help them at this particular time. You will count on that. Basically, that's what you're saying. Okay. So it is something that you have used, so you're using it. You have used, so now you're emphasizing this is where it fits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. We will dive deeper into that. Let us put a halt on that. I will come back to it.
Okay.
Take us through a bit of But I think you've mentioned the red flags. You've mentioned that when your child has reached the age of 14 and you're not seeing these changes, you need to consult.
Yes,
a medical practitioner, right? You've also touched on the emotional shifts, that parents should expect around this time. But maybe you can comment a bit more on privacy, mood, sleep. What have you seen? Friendship changes.
Yeah, now privacy is interesting, and I've seen the parents don't understand why. Why do they want their space at this particular time, and trying to push themselves in that space of the child. Yes. We teach our children how to be respected by the way we respect them. And the teaching of this does not start now. As I said, in adolescence, you're counting on what you taught. Children at the age of 4 start showing this thing of privacy. They want to shower on their own. They want to close the door.
Cover themselves with their
robe. They start cover themselves with their robe. Yeah. They suddenly know there is privacy. I want my space. And that's very natural. It's innate. And that should be granted by the parent. So that even when the child is going to bathe and you put everything and they say now they want to shower, you let them shower. Once in a while, you want to check if they are doing it okay. Yes. Ask for permission.
Okay. Oh my, what a mess.
Yeah.
The messes we've got into.
Yes. You ask them, allow me this. I would like to help you in there and to check this. Can I? So that they learn how to respect themselves. Yes. They learn that there is a space of me that is private. Nobody can barge into it. You start by that, by teaching them that. And you start that you mothers, parents teach themselves from an early stage where even that baby who can't talk, the newborn, when you're going to change them, you ask them, now, the diaper is soiled. We need to change it. You're talking to the child, tell them, can I open your diaper? Is that okay with you? Those conversations you have with the child. It's not just saying, cool. It's entertaining. Ask real talking and asking them for permission. And they grow knowing that before you touch me, you ask for permission.
Oh, I like that.
And then there's this space of mind that need to be respected. So if you carry on with that, you're already getting to adolescence, you're already letting them know that this is the space where you're respected. But you say, if you have any problem, you can come to me. Yes. But I know this is your space, so that we knock the door in, their room. I know, especially African mothers, we get to that point, we'll come and remove the hinges and go with the door and say, this is my house.
Yes, unfortunately.
But if we don't show them respect, then they don't know that actually they're supposed to be respected.
Okay.
Then out there, they will not show that. Yeah. So you asked about privacy, and what was the other one?
Sleep.
And sleep.
Sleeping in, especially now during the holidays, I'm sure you're noticing it. I'm noticing it with my 11-year-old and my 13-year-old. 10:30, and I'm like, no, 10:30, how?
Yes. Now, just good to know also, the growth that is happening at that time is so much. They have all these hormonal changes. Yes. They have growth spurts. There's a lot. There are a lot of changes happening, a lot of work happening in their body. You notice there are some they eat, but they never add any weight. There's a lot that is happening. They get exhausted by just living. Now, children at adolescents or teens need to go back to sleeping at least 10 hours, to be sleeping at 10 hours, like they did when they were in nursery, when they were little.
Yes.
And many parents find it like, we become lazy. They haven't become lazy.
Okay.
They were tired having their growth spurt growing. So it's good to allow them that time to grow and to know it's not that they are being lazy.
Yes.
And the other thing that would help in that managing that is to make sure you have a schedule in the house that is followed by the children, so that even when you're commenting on, you're working on that. Currently, the thing that is affecting children's sleep is gadgets.
Yes. Oh my. Yes, you can say that again. Absolutely.
And parents have to be very firm where they're able to help their children to know bedrooms are for sleeping.
Yes.
They are not movie theaters. They are not entertainment centers. So that the gadget doesn't go there.
Yes.
Now, they don't have that. Their frontal cortex is not well developed for them to see consequences and to make serious decisions. So the parents must make it for them. Would they like it? No. Would they like you? No. But the parents' job is not popularity contest.
Absolutely.
So you need to put those rules where the gadget doesn't go to the bedroom.
Okay.
It's not in the either parent's bedroom. You will get it tomorrow. It's school holidays. Yes, you'll have it. But when you go to bed, you go to sleep.
Yes.
Because then if they are there with the gadgets until so late, then they sleep in the following day.
Yes.
But also it's good to also provide opportunities that give them a reason to rise.
Absolutely. Okay.
What are they going to rise and do?
Okay.
Because we got the society where the children only go to school. Then they get home, the only little chance we could give them, maybe you wash your cup when you eat or your plate. That's not enough. We need to challenge that boredom that they have, because that boredom has a lot, it's a resource by itself.
It's a resource.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they have something they're looking forward to and helping them. Not that you're doing it for them, but basically challenging them into coming up with things that they can do. Is it a project you're doing with some charity? Okay. Is it whatever, something that you're doing there? Are you creating something? Is it an art project? Something that they do. And that can be combined with help when a parent demands that they work for their wants. So if a child is supposed to work for their want, they have allowed this school holiday. Yes. It's enough for a child to work for their want. How that will come with each family, with their creativity, that the child actually works for their want. You want this at Christmas time, I'll provide for your needs, but if you want something, work for it, so that the holiday is spent in a very productive way. Brilliant. And they know the reason why they are waking up. Because they are waking up to boredom. We were told we can't watch TV. That's what am I waking up to do? I'll just be a sloth in the whole day. In the whole day in bed.
So they need to have something that they're working towards. You want PS5 for Christmas? Okay. Well, I am totally against PS5 for now because of how addictive it is. But I like that idea. They have a project they're working towards, and it's true that gives them that motivation to keep going, right? But let me take you back a bit. The boys, right? And we've talked about gadgets, and then there are these changes going on, and there's a lot on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it, right? The boys are going through their own shifts. There's also the other world, the digital world that's telling them things. So what, in your opinion, would be a healthy way to talk about masturbation? Consent and boundaries at this age?
I think many times it's good to really normalize growing up. And I think the reason why we have a problem with these things is because parents shy away from them.
Yes.
Okay. I know I've had culturally, like in my culture, that where a man's heart was a place where his young boys' heart, he could see them when they wake up in the morning, because there were no toilets in the house. They have to go out. He can see them and he can tell whether my boy is growing or not. Because the young boys will wake up normally with an erect penis, and that's a part of growth. Because it usually will happen between the repetitive, eye movement, which means that shallow sleep before you wake up in the morning. And therefore it is visible. You can see, is my son growing or not growing? Current parent now, do they have a way of knowing?
No.
They have
no way.
They don't have.
No idea what's happening, right?
Yeah. And I know there are still these cultural things that happen at about that age of in between. It's usually after onset of puberty where especially the boys are taken for circumcision. And they have those conversations with, I assume, I actually don't know what they talk about because they don't say. But the assumption is that the men talk to their boys about this. But it's good to talk about them. Children need facts according to their age and the truth. Because if you lie, they will discover, but in circumstances that are not good, they'll be cheated, they'll be taken advantage of. So being able to tell what's the biology of this, your parts. Being able to, as much to explain, this, your penis is made of some spongy substance. And so that especially when you're growing up, for no reason, the blood will flow into it and feel it, and then it will become hard. And And that's normal. It's part of growth. And you can explain it in a way that they understand. For example, especially if you actually engage with your children, maybe talk to them about a car. You can even take them to a car when you're testing a car to see if it's working. It could be there. It's not going anywhere, but then you turn on the engine and you're revving. Why are you revving? To know how it sounds, how it works. And you can tell if there is something abnormal. So if it's not revving, it goes off, then something is wrong. Okay. And the same way, if your penis doesn't rise up, then there's something wrong. We need to check, there's something wrong. So it means you're very normal.
Okay.
And that growth, when you start talking about growth that way, it helps. I know, like with my girls, what I have done, and one of the things that I think it's a good thing to do. Everybody can come up with their own thing. My children, when their periods come and we talk about them before.
Yes.
Show you the sanitary towels, show you how they are used.
Yes.
And so that it's something to look forward to as opposed to something to shy away from.
Yes.
And then the day we come from school and the periods have come, we will do a dance.
Oh, okay.
Celebrate a dance because we have achieved a milestone. This is a big thing. And what does it mean? It has a lot of meaning. It means we are normal. It means that we only choose in life, that we can even one day become a mother, all those things. So you make it very natural and beautiful to talk about and easy so that something to share about. Yes. And the same we talk about masturbation so that you're able to tell them that when the only masturbation usually will come because of exposure. However, just to letting them know that sometimes it's possible to have those feelings of excitement and you may want to touch so that they know that actually this is something that happens, there is something wrong with it. Okay? And to let them know that letting yourself grow without interfering with it to make you, make you more a better person, you'll be more healthy in future. Your organ will also be healthy in future. When they're older in teenage, then you can go ahead and explain to them the repercussions of masturbation. Being able to tell them that, look, why did God give you this organ? To be, if you get married, to be very useful. Now, if you do masturbation, what will happen?
Okay.
When it comes to time there, when you are married and you want to use it with your wife, you will not be able to. Because it can't function in the natural setting because it is used to masturbation.
Okay.
Yeah. And letting them know that actually there are many men who they have wives, but they are totally impotent when it comes in the marriage. No, they are not impotent physically, but they're important when it comes to the sexual act. Because of masturbation. So it can actually kind of psychologically castrates, basically psychologically castrates yourself. Yeah. Because of where, the kind of effect it has on your on your brain, on your pleasure points of the brain. So you're kind of releasing very abnormal levels of dopamine that are released abnormally. So that causes you not to be able to respond to the natural way of doing things.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So they are older. When they are old, so you go changing the language according to how their age, because parenting changes with age.
Absolutely.
You can't parent a teenager the way you parent the preschool child, or the middle school child. Your parenting style changes. Okay. As they grow older.
And you keep giving them more and more, bit by bit.
Bits, according to their age.
I like that. That explains a lot, right? Okay. And what about boundaries? At this age, I like the idea of we need to learn, we need to teach them that people need to ask for permission, right? Now, teenagehood is here, the excitement is here. He's noticing a girl he likes, the girl is noticing a boy. Tell us about boundaries. How can parents help their children during this time?
Well, now it is important that parents first of all do their own, role playing, being a role model, just showing those boundaries by example, but also by showing children the respect that they require. And the respect doesn't come in just physical. The respect that comes with even when you're having a conversation. For example, the children mainly who will have issues with the boundaries, especially with these physical things and sexual matters, are children who at home do not feel seen, heard, or felt.
Seen, heard, or felt. Oh, God. Okay.
So, and like say girls are not seen, heard, and felt by their fathers. Any male figure out there, they will be very easy to take an advantage
pays
of.
attention
because they are
to
looking,
her.
yes, they have a vacuum they are feeling, and they are not aware. It's very subconscious. So it's very easy for them to give into. And if you see those girls, they get into sexual matters quite early in life.
Okay.
So they will not have boundaries because there's a need they are meeting.
Okay.
And they are not aware that is by violating themselves in that way. Yeah.
Okay.
So there are things that they may look not connected, but it's all, the parenting is it's connecting a lot with how a person functions in many ways.
Okay.
So that teaches them boundaries quite a bit. Okay. That respect you show them, that communication in terms of that you are a listener, that actually when they tell you something, you can hear. And of course there is the teaching that you do along the side. You keep telling, you grow up, a child grows up being taught what is private, what is not,
Okay.
and even the consequences of not being able to say no. But again, that being able to say no to violating, being violated also comes from very far. Because they ought to have been, because you see sexual matters are very attractive and very exciting. But if a child has grown with the capacity to say no, they have mastered the art of delayed gratification. They will know, I don't need to be touched by somebody now. Yeah, can hold. And the delayed gratification is taught from very young age. That age of mine, they're terrible too.
Yes.
Start from there. That's a very key time for teaching.
Age 2.
Yes, delayed gratification, where yes, you want it, but you can't have it.
Okay.
Yeah, and especially this is becoming difficult where the child is crying for the phone.
Yes.
And the parent give the whole, even in church, the child is being entertained.
Yes.
So you destroy that child capacity to say no.
Okay.
The boundaries, they can't keep their boundaries. But the main one is that thing of just being as a parent. Is your child heard? Is your child seen? Is your child felt? Can your child say that I'm seen, that I'm heard, that I'm felt by a parent?
Oh, wow. Pauline, we need to have another discussion on this, because what if as I as a parent was not seen, was not heard, was not felt? So you can see the generational...
yes.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful. Now, I want us to delve a bit deeper, right? Let's look at puberty in girls, right? How can we support them better? Period hygiene, and we've looked at our girls, the typical girls, and how the example you gave, we teach them about this is how we wear the sanitary towel, and it's a celebration when the periods come. I remember for my group of friends, we gave our girls bars of chocolate. So we gave them little passes, and inside the pass was a bar of chocolate, which she will eat when the period comes, and and a few sanitary towels and a change of underwear. And that was our gift to them, preparing them for that. And now I want us to go now. Let's now peel another layer to this. How can ADHD or autism or other neurodivergent changes a child going through going through neurodivergence, the experience of puberty? What can you tell the moms? What can you tell the dads in order to support these girls during this journey?
Yeah, so, and I think each case, of course, it's dealt with its own specific challenges. So it's of course very important that the person understands their child. Now, for the ADHD child, the main thing here would be the lack of structure probably carelessness and losing things and not remembering to change the pad or to put it on and all that. So for that child, the main thing is structure.
Okay.
And having structure means you have a schedule.
Yes.
So even a schedule around their periods so that they know how to track themselves and they know, oh, this is when I'm supposed to do ABCD. So that they are clear, if it's disposal, and they know where they dispose and how they dispose.
Okay.
And they are always helping them to check if they have, not checking in terms of, have you done the right thing today? Is that checking, how are we doing?
Okay.
Are you okay? Is there any way I can support you? Yeah. So there's a lot of training that goes into it. But for them, the main thing is the structure. And also hygiene can be a problem because they forget. And just knowing that, you have a schedule that says at this time we shower, this time we do ABCD, at this time we change the pad.
Okay.
So it will even work better for those children. If, for example, the changing of the pad is not because it's heavy, but it's because you change every 3 hours, you change it regardless, so that they get into a routine, because you're trying to create a routine and a structure around them. For the ASD, there's a bigger challenge in terms of they have a sensory, disorder. So they may not even, sometimes maybe they don't the touch of a pad.
Okay.
So you'd have to go ahead and discover. You have to try different things.
Okay.
Or to train them to get accustomed to desensitize themselves to that. Okay? So that it can become normal to them, and they can learn how to withstand it.
Okay. And by desensitization, you
mean slowly getting used to it. Yeah. So you start very early in terms of teaching.
Yes.
And you do visual, like they need more visual things.
Okay, so pictures.
It could be, pictures.
Yeah, okay.
Booklet is, I think, a book written by Roger somebody. I'll check it out later. Yeah, Rogers, I can't remember the full name, but he had done illustrations of how you can use, I think you can just go online and just check, guides for helping, in puberty, children who are neurodivergent. So there are pictures showing what a pad looks like, and it's blood it looks like, and then you need to actually get the pads themselves physical, putting liquid so that they can touch and feel.
This is when it's full, time for a change.
Yes, because you need to go through a lot of, just the same way you teach them language, the neurodivergent children, where they have something they can touch, and probably when they touch it, they see, but then it also produces the same sound.
Okay.
So the same thing with this, that things are tangible.
Okay.
They're experiencing it.
Yes.
And long before even the periods come. So that when the periods come, it's not because change is not very good with ASD children. It can really affect them. Okay. So they're accustomed by the time they are getting there. Okay. So make sure those things, they are visual things. Okay. They're things they can touch.
Fantastic.
I like that. They're things that they're experiencing, but you have introduced them in a slow way that they are becoming desensitized slowly. Okay. Yeah, it's much harder.
Yeah. So as a parent, then you really need to know now is the time to start, or is there a general time when they can start?
Just age, age of reason.
Okay, age of reason. So from 7.
Age of reason,
But it depends on the child as well. Right?
It also depends on the child. Yeah.
Okay.
They slowly, so that it's not a mystery that is hidden.
Absolutely.
I know, the generation of parents, for us, there things were hidden, and somehow they're always surprised by life, so that there are no surprises. Don't want to give them surprises.
Absolutely, because the surprises overwhelm them.
Exactly.
And then this becomes a meltdown, and it's what a terrible stage I am in.
And it can go on for long. They can be in that state for a long time.
Wow. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Thank you. That is fantastic. So yes, let's get these ideas. Let's take note of these ideas, because this is our life. And we need to empower ourselves to live better. At least you've helped me understand what to do if the girl resists a certain product. So we slowly open them up to different types and desensitize them if really and truly they've refused all of them. You desensitize them to the one that is most convenient for them.
Right? And sometimes maybe the pads are not good for them. Maybe they'll need a pant.
Yes.
Yeah, that is supported by the normal pant.
Yes.
If, for example, changing is a problem, so what will work, because the severity is different, the presentation is different. Yeah.
Okay.
So there are some who may not have a problem in that particular area of life. They may have in another one. So they are being very specific with the child and getting to know them. Yeah.
And I'm imagining that in some schools they may get support, in other schools they may not get support. Yeah.
Yes.
So then we have to really ensure our children are
from home. That from home they are well equipped.
Equipped.
Yeah, so that even that kit you're talking about, they have a kit, they know what the kit is about, and it is equipped to serve that particular child.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Maybe the underwear, maybe a disposable, and that's what they need at that time when they have their periods, that it is there and they know why they have it. Yeah, so and then schools these days, they will have nurses. Always it's good that they also have a safe person in school that they feel safe with. If this were to happen, who is the safe person? Probably the school nurse.
Okay.
Yeah, can help with that.
I like that. Okay. And I think that they also the incremental aspect that she has, what you said, it's not, did you do it well? No, it's, how are we doing today?
Yes.
Yeah, and then do you go on ahead and reward her for, a day that has gone well? Do you recommend that?
No. Children, say, thrive in consistency. And because they are human beings also tend to be motivated by rewards.
Okay.
That's why you first work and then end of the month you get your salary. But the house you're staying in, you paid rent before the month began.
Yes.
You don't stay before the you can create that. So having children learn rewards is a good thing. And but again, to note that when you're doing reward and consequences, you're doing for, can we say, you're not there's a difference between mistakes and misbehavior.
Okay.
So if, for example, you have a child, you're trying to, we're working on misbehavior, which will be probably with the children of ADHD. So you will have consequences for misbehavior, and then you have consequences also for good behavior. That's very good. Now for mistakes are opportunities for teaching.
Okay.
It's not a time to punish.
Yes.
So I gave you this glass to put in the sink and you dropped it, it broke. It's not time for whipping the child.
Yes.
It's a teaching. You show them how to carry and what to avoid. Maybe you're carrying too many things in your hand or you are playing as you walked. So you use that to teach.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. But if, for example, you use the pad, you had too long and it leaked. It's a mistake.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, I think it's a lot of empathy and showing, just letting them know, these things happen.
Yeah.
And then so that you teach them next time, how can we avoid this one?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then if they need extra support that they actually don't remember, that probably their teacher knows that this child is in the ASD spectrum and needs a certain, just remind her to go to the bathroom. She will know what to do. Don't need to tell them much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes we have with those children, we use signs.
Yes.
That the child knows that they have been told, if you feel uncomfortable and they don't know what to say, that they agree, they have a language even with the teacher. Okay. It could be, or it could be, whatever. Or they stand up and go to a particular corner. So there's that where the child feels confident, the child is in that corner, then they need to go. Probably they need the support in that.
I like that.
Yeah.
So having that flexibility.
Yes.
Is so critical. Good. Okay. Now let's delve into neurodiversity and puberty in boys. Right? For neurodiverse boys, what can we tell the parents? How can we help the parents take care of the boys? Because for boys, you can imagine there's a story of hygiene, nocturnal emissions, and directions. How do we support the parents in this journey? Yeah,
so it's again the thing of normalcy, and of course it would help if the male parent is very present.
Okay.
But life is not ideal.
Yes.
Sometimes he's not. So the parent who is there or the caregiver who is there has to be the one to do this. So that again is, as I say, that just having that conversation from very early on and telling the boy is 8 and letting them know, get tonight, this is going to happen. Yeah. You know that you're going to grow and you start to get some hairs here. Being able to explain those things, tell them that their sexual organs are going to grow bigger, okay, and they're going to have hairs, you know, in certain places, and of course, depending on how their sensory department is, probably they don't like hair, so you need to prepare them to let them know there'll be this hair growing here and what that means, and because children who are, especially in the ASD spectrum, have a very good memory. So the things that you teach them, they won't forget. They may not comprehend, they will not forget. They will ask again and again. So when it is normalized and it's told in a very calm way, then they start getting it, and they sometimes see them just talking to themselves and explain to them, so I'm growing. So my organs will become bigger. And I'm okay. So it need to be that being okay. Combining that, especially when they're agitated, with their calming, whatever they use for self-soothing and self-calming.
Okay.
I know there are some who I see will stand and they're just clapping their hands and walking around clapping their hands.
Yes.
Yeah, there's one who will want to go into a corner and just calm. So whatever they use to calm themselves, just letting them know, if you feel overwhelmed, this is what you do.
Okay.
But you need to explain them before, so that, and then letting them know they can ask questions. But again, let's say having those visual whatever without being graphic, that they are there, which guides that they can get, that you use, to teach the child, to just affirm them, to keep reminding this is going to happen. And you realize those children, because of their straightforwardness, if there are any changes they notice, they will come and ask, and even letting them know, if you see this, come and ask. If you see this, come and ask.
Also because their changes are a bit different, and their milestones are different.
Yes.
The changes are the same as the typical boys, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, but maybe now it's